This is Mac OS Ken.
A very spatial announcement, questions around Apple and China, and a first look at the me you can't see. It's Tuesday, the 18th of May, 2021. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Fundrise, the future of real estate investing. Learn more at fundrise.com/macosken. This show is also sponsored by Amazon Pharmacy, your medication made easy. You can get just about anything delivered. Flowers, clothes, pizza. Seriously, you can get just about anything delivered. And yet, more often than not, when you're sick or getting over some medical something, you end up standing around where other sick people are waiting for a prescription. Quit doing that with Amazon Pharmacy. I'm an Amazon Prime member. I find stuff on Amazon, I buy that stuff, they bring it to my door. Not everything, but lots of things. They get stuff to me, and they get it to me quickly. If I was on any prescriptions right now, believe that Amazon Pharmacy is where I'd turn. I like that they're HIPAA compliant. I like that they have pharmacists available to answer questions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I like that I wouldn't have to drag my sick or recovering self out to get the prescription I would need. If you're going to the pharmacy to pick up your meds, have them come to you instead. Amazon Prime members can save on prescription medication when not using insurance and get free 2-day delivery. Learn more at amazon.com/macosken. That's amazon.com/macosken. Amazon.com/macosken. It turns out today is not the day for the lossless music news. I mean, it is here, but it wasn't as far as Apple was concerned. After hints in code in this app and that, a piece from Engadget says Apple went ahead on Monday and announced the imminent arrival of spatial audio with Dolby Atmos, as well as lossless audio streaming. On the first, Apple says spatial audio gives artists the opportunity to create immersive audio experiences for their fans with true, multidimensional sound and clarity. On the second, Apple says Apple uses Apple Lossless Audio Codec to preserve every single bit of the original audio file. This means Apple Music subscribers will be able to hear the exact same thing that the artists created in the studio. Both Dolby Atmos and lossless audio will be available in Apple Music in June, according to Engadget, with no added cost to the consumer. Good news, right? Well, I mean, yes, if you're the consumer. That said, a piece from the Next Web takes the position that what's good for the consumer, higher quality audio at the same price, may be bad for the artist. It's not that they wouldn't appreciate higher quality for the listener, but a lot of services that have a higher quality tier for a higher price are able to pay artists more for their plays. It seems unlikely that Apple and Amazon will be doing that. Oh yeah, the same piece from the Next Web says Amazon made an announcement that was strikingly similar to Apple's. It's not introducing lossless audio. Rather, a piece from The Verge says it's dropped the premium charge for lossless audio on Amazon Music, effective yesterday. As for missing the higher price tier, yeah, I get what the Next Web is saying, but I don't know. Apple Music already pays artists more than Spotify pays. So does Amazon Music, according to the same Next Web report. Nonetheless, the piece says lossless music takes up more bandwidth and therefore costs more to stream. So I worry, says the writer, artists are going to end up losing money as the industry moves to streaming higher quality music with no price increase. Okay, but if consumers go to services that are paying artists more per play without charging consumers more, that's a win for the artists anyway, isn't it? It sounds like the ones that'll be hurt by this aren't the artists, but the company's charging more for Lossless like Deezer and Tidal and Spotify, which has a hi-fi premium tier planned for later this year. I wonder if anybody at Apple thought of that. If you're wondering what the formats will work on or play through, I've read the fine print and I'm still wondering that myself. In the FAQs on Dolby Atmos and a footnote in the FAQ, Apple says Dolby Atmos tracks play automatically when listening on iPhone, iPad, Mac, and Apple TV through compatible Apple or Beats headphones. That includes AirPods, AirPods Pro, AirPods Max, Beats X, Beats Solo 3 Wireless, Beats Studio 3, Power Beats 3 Wireless, Beats Flex, Power Beats Pro, and Beats Solo Pro. As for the lossless audio, that one's tougher to parse. Turning again to Apple's FAQ, you can listen to lossless audio using the latest Apple Music app on an iPhone, iPad, Mac, or Apple TV. Turn on lossless audio in settings, then music, then audio quality. You can choose between lossless and high-res lossless for cellular or Wi-Fi connections. Note that high-res lossless requires external equipment, such as a USB digital to analog converter. Still stumped? Me too. A piece from Apple Insider says Apple devices that'll play lossless audio include iPhone 7, iPad Pro 12.9-inch, 3rd generation, iPad Pro 11-inch, iPad 6th generation, iPad Air 3rd generation, iPad Mini 5th generation, and MacBook Pro 2018. One assumes it's those devices and later. It would be hilarious if you had to have an iPhone 7 to make lossless work. Now here's something else hilarious. According to Apple Insider, none of these devices will play high-res lossless audio wirelessly. I've seen a few people be condescending about that online, and those people can stick it. Apple has spent the past several years moving as many people as possible to wireless earbuds and headphones. Now they introduce this new to most people audio format that won't work on their super expensive hole pluggers. It's a limitation of the technology. The way Apple Insider explains it, AirPods and wireless Beats rely on Bluetooth, with the exception of the AirPods Max, and Bluetooth will not relay high-res lossless audio. Nothing to be done about that, it seems. It's just a limitation of the technology. But tech people making fun of average consumers because those average consumers think stuff from Apple will just work might want to stop and consider what kind of nerd they are versus the kind of nerd they'd like to be. Both Dolby Atmos and lossless audio will require iOS 14.6, iPadOS 14.6, macOS 11.4, or tvOS 14.6 or later. While the audio formats won't be available on Apple Music until next month, it seems those updated operating systems could be along any time now. iDownload blog says release candidates for all 4 were seeded to developers on Monday, as were the release candidates for watchOS 7.5 and HomePod 14.6. More news in a moment, but first a word from Fundrise, the future of real estate investing. These days, a truly diversified portfolio can include more than the traditional mix of stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. It can include private real estate. You may think you don't qualify, or maybe you think you can't afford such an investment. With Fundrise, you do, and you can. Fundrise provides access to diversified portfolios of private real estate to all investors with their industry-leading, easy-to-use platform. You can see what projects you're into, how your investments are doing, get updates, and add to your position right through the Fundrise app. To me, the app is fun because I can see what my investment is doing at any time. Whether you're looking to add stable cash flow via dividends or prefer long-term growth through appreciation, Fundrise makes investing in private real estate as easy as investing in stocks, bonds, or mutual funds. See for yourself how 130,000 investors have built a better portfolio with private real estate. It takes just a few minutes to get started. Go to fundrise.com/macOSKen today. That's FUNDRISE, fundrise.com/macOSKen, fundrise.com/macOSKen. The New York Times took Apple behind the shed on Monday. Apple Insider highlights the report from the paper of record, which focuses on privacy and security compromises it says Apple's made to do business in China. Despite Apple's strong stance on protecting user privacy, says Apple Insider, it stores all of its Chinese user data within the country's borders on servers that belong to a state-owned firm. According to security experts, that means it's essentially impossible for Apple to stop the Chinese government from obtaining access to user data. According to Apple, that's not so. In a statement to the New York Times, Apple said in China the law stipulates that iCloud data belonging to its nationals must remain in the country. We comply with the law, but we make no compromises on user security. Sounds cool. Though the Times says in China, Apple has ceded legal ownership of its customers' data to a company called GCBD. That company is owned by the government of a Chinese province. Because of that, Apple Insider says, Chinese authorities can demand access to data from GCBD rather than Apple, and the terms shield Apple from legal reprisal in the U.S., according to a person who helped create that arrangement. Apple's statement seems to answer this as well, saying we retain control of the encryption keys for our users' data, and every new data center we build affords us the opportunity to use Apple's most cutting-edge hardware and security technologies to protect those keys. Since our Chinese data centers are the newest, they feature our very latest and most sophisticated protections. In addition, we handle law enforcement requests in China through the appropriate legal process, just like we do everywhere else, and we regularly and transparently report the instances when we are compelled to provide user information. According to the Cupertino Company, many of the assertions in the report are based on incomplete, outdated, and inaccurate information. Of course, it feels like we'll never know for sure because it's China. That's me saying that, not Apple. Apple says, as it has before, at the end of the day, we believe the best way to promote the values of an open society is to remain engaged and to continue making the technology our users count on us to deliver. Jolly good Apple fellow Phil Schiller testified at the Epic v. Apple trial on Monday. There were probably two big bits of news, one a point of interest and one kind of exciting. The point of interest, Apple Insider had Schiller saying that WWDC costs Apple roughly $50 million a year to host and throw. As for the kind of exciting one, the report had Schiller saying that the Cupertino tech giant is working on building a developer facility at its Apple Park campus so that developers can build applications while receiving support from Apple engineers. I'm sorry, is that going to make WWDC more expensive or less? Either way, it's kind of exciting. And finally today, you can now see a trailer for The Me You Can't See. Huh? That's the mental health and wellness documentary series featuring Oprah Winfrey and Prince Harry that's bound for Apple TV+. Mac Rumor says the Cupertino streamer released the trailer Monday. Part of the trailer's description says the series explores mental health and emotional well-being with stories from people around the world. With storytelling at its core, this timely series gives a voice to stories that aim to seek truth, understanding, and compassion. Plus, it is star-studded, featuring Lady Gaga, Glenn Close, professional athletes of whom I've never heard, along with the former Prince and the Queen of all media. The Me You Can't See hits Apple TV Plus this Friday, the 21st of May. Between now and then, you can catch the trailer on YouTube. Coming up in a few minutes, last week the CDC said folks in the U.S. who are fully vaccinated against COVID-19 can start going more places and doing more stuff without wearing masks. Daily Tech News shows Tom Merritt and I talk about the feels and reflect on a year of being Team Mask. The show is called In a Few Minutes. Find it and listen wherever you find and listen to podcasts. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by Amazon Pharmacy. Your medication made easy. Learn more at amazon.com/macOSKen. This show is also sponsored by Fundrise, the future of real estate investing. Learn more at FUNDRISE, fundrise.com/macOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media. Online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.